Morning, beautiful souls, and here with Hobby Chatway. And this morning we're going to talk about magnetism and that animalistic side of the body, and how we attract things, how we attract each other, how we attract things into our surroundings, and that begins with knowing who you are and how you are that magnet, that you give off that pull towards you. So in that field we have two sexes that brings creation together, being man and woman. I'm not going to expand on this too much in the sense of different genders and that, and why people are classing themselves as different genders. That's for another time, another video. There's an explanation to everything, or why someone is attracted to the same gender, or the same sex. There's always a reason, and that comes through consciousness. So on the magnetic side of the flow of nature, we get man and woman, and in the body it becomes the beast, the animal, where the mind is the consciousness that can control that animal and tame it. So what you find is that we learned of the animals rather than the animals learning from us, and then we overtook them in a conscious level with the mind. And from that, what we have done is used our consciousness more than the animalistic side of us. Now you can do your science on this. How we sit down or rest. Normally we just get up and we move into the next activity that we think or that we need to do. Where if you see an animal like the likes of a dog, they will stretch out, they will shake it off. And what they're doing is shaking off that static energy. And the stretching out is opening up the body from that stiffness that it had. So there's, I think, three ways you look at this. The shaking off, you're shaking off that static. If you do this, you're also activating the lymphatic system, which is shaking out any garbage out of each of the cells, giving better circulation in the body. And also with the stretching of that helps that, but the stretching also helps the fascia. Depends on how you look at it, how it could be said different ways. It's like a netting that holds the body together. The organs, the bones, everything's held by the fascia. And when that's stretched out, it's got that flexibility to expand in strength and capabilities to hold you in a better standard of shape of who you are, instead of When a person sits down, they crouch and they get aches and pains. Well, the fascia holds that into the position and is very flexible in how you guide it. So the shaking and the stretching is gonna help you dramatically, but we forget to do that, and then we look at an animal and we see it. The likes of a dog will do that all the time. When you see the dog or animal, normally you'll see, especially with a dog, they'll go to points in space, and what you'll find, they'll start circulating in that area, and it's energy. There's an energy field, and sometimes when they're going to rest, they'll do it too. And what they're doing is they're clearing the energy there, making that energy theirs. So they're putting it into that natural flow of their own flow by spinning around, bringing their energy that you do not see with the naked eye into that flow. So they're disturbing the energy, but they're putting that energy into their energy by putting their own spin to it. And then they sit down in their own energy, which leaves them have more comfort in where they rest. And we are just like that as animals. And now if you look at the science of all that and how if you spin around and how the energy will come about, you will understand how you build up an energy field for yourself, and that energy field's there to be protected from incoming animals that is coming in, or anything that's incoming from that vibration field that's out there. So one of the things that I recall is when you look at animals, they know when it's going to rain and that, and they'll go and they'll hide under the bushes. Just sense it. And they know where to find water. And it was said that we followed them to learn how to find water, to learn how to live life. As I say, we overcame that and became the controllers to try to control the animals, to try to control everything by consciousness. Yet doing that, we have let go of some of the basics that's helped us move and advance into who we are. And in that gender, the opposite sex, then we are magnetized to that. The animalistic side of us wants to mate. Maybe not consciously or consciously aware that you're attracted or pulled into someone, but when you find you're going into an area of the opposite sex, you're going in there with the animal side of you in the body, looking for something. And that could be in multiple forms. And then today that comes into multiple forms and types through consciousness and the way of thinking, and it overpowers that animalistic side of the body of how it's feeling in that magnetism and what it's drawn to. And that can come from all different parables, and it's normally due to some sort of loss that person feels within themselves that they don't have, and that they see in another that they're drawn to. And So then there becomes a want in us that we feel drawn to that person, that they fulfill a need within us, and that can lead to sexual behaviors of the animal side of the body, because we feel that they're doing something for us within how we're feeling. So the animal side is getting satisfied, so it wants more of it, so it's getting drawn in closer. And sometimes when you get controlled by that way, the conscious gets taken away from the reality of what you're doing, and you can get drawn into many areas, and use that fulfillment in many places with many different people. And the animal can go out of control, where the beast is overpowering the mind, and consciousness of the mind is starts getting distorted, and unaware of its behavior, and it becomes out of balance, where one overpowers the other. So bringing the mind consciousness and the body together, bringing that balance of life into everything is very important. Or we could be drawn to one side and put out of balance, disturbed. We could be running off the flow of the animal, the beast that's within us. Or we could be overpowered by our way of thinking, by overthinking about things too much. But being able to switch off the thinking and being alert of the body. But also remembering that you have that mind to think about the actions of the body and what it's doing and how it relates to everything. And relating everything to all that's outside of you in that nature field, as nature is what guides us. And when we follow the flow of nature, then we'll be in that perfect spot that we were meant to be in. Not disturbing our own energy or the energy outside of us. And when we're in that perfect flow, anything that gets disturbed in outside of us will be energy that's already disturbed, because you'll already be in that flow, flowing with all that is around you. And any other vessel that's disrupted by that is obviously out of balance in who they are. So they're out of balance in all that they see and feel around them. Becoming off flow with nature, out of flow. And that doesn't mean that the person is going to be mentally, or when you look at someone, they're going to look like they're mentally ill, or they could just look like you or I, where there's as if there was nothing wrong at all. But the characteristics of that person and the behaviours could tell something different when you look at the overall of what they say and what they do, and how long they've been doing these actions and carrying them out and following through in this way of being. Then that's a different behaviour to look at than just looking at a person face front and taking them for who they are. And this isn't everyone, but it gives you an opening to look at, to understand that it's not just the mind that needs looked at and brought to awareness. It's that beast that's within you, the beast that you are in that physical aspect, as the mind is only the controller of it all. And you must control that wisely, or you disrupt other energies or your own, which is the most important. Because when you keep your own at a content. And that comes from understanding where you're taking that energy and where you're drifting it to. Are you looking for something outside of you in other energy fields that's fulfilling them needs in you? And if so, why are you doing that? Is this not something that you should be able to fulfill within yourself in that animalistic side of things or the mind? But you must bring it into balance to be balanced with who you are, or you will be forced on that pull field, which is always a pull and push, where you're receiving or you're sending out that field of energy. Now, that will come down to how balanced you are, and in what you're looking for, in what has happened in your life to draw you into the field that you're in through memories and memories, and what brings that awareness to that animal that's in that consciousness, that brings that balance with the mind. I didn't think this was going to go on this long. But hopefully let's give another look at everything's not just the mind. And when I speak of consciousness, consciousness is the body and the mind put together as one, a balance. The electromagnetic field is the same kind of thing. We've got that current, but yet you've got that magnetism. And they go in coherence with each other. And if that's not in balance, then you're going to be swayed by one, which is going to knock you off your path and have you drawn into other people's energy for some reason to bring that satisfaction. Or otherwise you would be just on your own in that pleasant way of being in life. And even though I say that and you be in your balance, what you'll find is as soon as you would see another beast or animal of the same nature, it gets drawn to it. Because it's like a reflection of itself. It wants to see what this beast has, what the curiosity of the beast that you are. And then when you see something in that beast that you haven't got, there becomes a want. You want to find out, what is this? How can I have this? Feeling that you're not satisfied because you've found something new, being overpowered by what's outside of you, taking you away from the spirit, being trapped by the beast that walks the earth. This is Happy Chapter. Love and peace.